Okay.
Hi folks, this is Brian Conrad with Krebs Custom. You know, we've had a few people ask about what goes into a Krebs Custom rifle and why they command the premium prices that they do. So we thought we'd take a minute and show you exactly, or a lot of the things that go into a Krebs Custom rifle. First, let's start with the fact that previously we use either Russian Saiga or Russian Vepr rifles as our base rifles, but since those are no longer available, we've shifted over to using Arsenal Bulgarian rifles, which are also very good quality. The first thing that happens with any rifle that comes in is it's stripped down to its basic components. You have a barreled receiver, you have a bin of parts, serial numbered to that particular rifle, so we keep everything together. Let's start with this carbine that we recently finished to give you some ideas to the different things we do. The first thing that happens with the barreled receiver section is we remove the front sight. We also remove the second bayonet lug, because once we put the rear sight back on, the two lugs would be right next to each other, and that's unnecessary. Since this is a carbine, we then precision cut and crown the barrel on a lathe using a 60-degree crowning tool. The front sight is then reinstalled. However, before it's pinned in place, we take the pin out of the rear sight support and laser bore sight both the front and the rear sight and the gas block if it's necessary. We also align that. We do all this in order to provide a centered sight picture for the end user, so everything is true and straight on the rifle. At that point, the rear sight support is pinned back in place, the front sight is pinned in place, then we install the muzzle brake. Now the muzzle brake is screwed on, there's a blind hole drilled, a pin put in, the hole is closed up with a touch of weld, then this entire section is machined and hand polished so that once we refinish the gun, you really can't tell where the pin was located. At that point, one of the other things that's done is the trigger guard is smoothed along with the magazine release, and we go over the entire rest of the rifle to find any sharp edges or corners that might exist. Those are all smoothed out, so you can run your hand over this entire gun without catching your hand on anything. Finally, the barrel receivers are put into an industrial tumbler and industrially tumbled for a particular period of time. What this does is it smooths all the interior surfaces to eliminate any burrs that might exist. Let's now discuss the parts that go back into the rifle. We radially cut the sear on the hammer. We precision surface grind the sear hook, the face, and the top of the hammer. We also polish all the bearing surfaces inside. What this results in is a much smoother feeling trigger pull, which is one of the things Krebs Custom rifles are noted for. We also polish the bolt face and the extractor, which enhances the reliability of an already very reliable system. And the end of the handle on the bolt carrier is smoothed and rounded off to make it a lot easier for the shooter. Once all of this is done, the entire rifle is taken and blasted with aluminum oxide material down to the bare metal. It is then coated with our locally made flat black synthetic alkyd, cured for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then it is baked in an industrial oven for between 1 and 1.5 hours. Now what this does, it does two things. First of all, it hardens the paint, which essentially makes this gun waterproof. It also bonds the paint to the metal itself, which makes the gun solvent resistant. Now yes, if you soak one of our guns overnight in solvent, you should be able to scrape some of the paint off. However, under normal circumstances with normal solvents and just regular cleaning, you're not going to have to worry about our finish. It's on there for the long term. So, there you have it. There's lots of handwork and care that goes into the building of every Krebs rifle. Excuse me. Quality takes time, and we earn what we do, but we let the customer decide the value. Thanks very much. Okay, go ahead. Okay, and here Alex is bore sighting one of our rifles. First you have to get the laser properly indexed into the bore. And then he is checking to ensure that the sights are properly lined up, concentric with the bore itself. Are we good on that?
This one's good.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.